curious to see how Vigilante plays, whether they're trying to play in a position to do as much healing for Donghack as possible or not. Here we go though. We are taking the more circuitous route here out of the gates, so we don't get poked down.
Yep, TP, get this Bastion in position, and oh yeah, Stalker. I mean, dude, the nade on Bastion, right, with this new update, I mean, it is so strong. I mean, Stalker, no opportunity to live there. So now you think you get this Bastion set up in a good spot. The Justice can take this first checkpoint.
Yeah, you see Donghack wants to try and hold the Justice at bay, but he's taking far too much damage already. And this is a set play, and what a strategy we see unfold from the Washington Justice. They stay out of line of sight for as long as humanly possible until it's time to strike.
Yeah, they close that gap right on top of Stalker and take him out instantly. I know it's some of the damage from the rest of the team, the Bastion grenade, and now the Reign going to be forced to switch. Look at this, we're going to have a Doomfist set up. So Doomfist with an Echo. Full changes here pretty much for the Justice too.
We talked a little bit, really heard about it in the previous matchup, these seismic slam changes here. Donghack again still wants to be able to play from the high ground. Maybe he also wants to be able to have impact on more flatter areas of this next part of the map. Be disruptive as much as possible. Set up these kills for Stalker, that's a problem. He's done.
Yeah,
absolutely toast.
Not going to be too disruptive there as he gets slept, bio-grenaded, killed instantly. But Fielder responds with a kill on Alfie.
Pretty key kill to take because it's very hard for the Justice to contest that high ground. For the time being, you notice that Mirror obviously on that Winston.
Well, now Vigilante back to Winston, right? You probably only switched to the Doom, and yeah, I mean, they're back on the Torbjorn, so clearly it was a response to what they saw originally with the Justice, but now
there's no Bastion now.
Yeah.
No Bastion now, so like, Donghack can actually play a little bit more aggressively here. They can use Stalker to try and control the periphery a bit more effectively, and Vigilante will play close range heals. Make it very, very hard to push into this part of the map. So with this avenue denied them, the Justice have to take the more direct approach, perhaps sending the Winston up, trying to dive, play around this nano boost.
Yeah, I was gonna say, they do have the nano here, form here whenever he decides to go in, but that'll be the nano here used by the Reign on the Donghack, and he gets really low, just backs out, doesn't even really build up towards Primal in a big way.
Yeah, it's the Bionade from Teru there. I think they kept Donghun alive. That was Donghack's target. Here comes the nano this time for the Justice. They're going to take the high ground comfortably. Now forced back, though. Mirror's here with a Binding Grenade, and the damage is real. Stalker's having to finish the job, but Flora also moves into position to benefit from that height. And he's found two already. The Soldier 76 in the perfect position to find value. And Liv tries to respond here with a tactical visor, but he's taken low, and the healing pylon's not enough to keep him standing.
He was picking up kills at the beginning, and then even Vigilante ends up using the Ilario to cap Sunrise and gets like one player. I think Donghack, capitalize that and blows him up. But now we're having more changes. They're gonna have Vigilante playing the Briggs. The Ilario not working out here for the Atlanta Reign.
Yeah, getting rid of that one. The Reign probably don't feel like they have nearly enough room to get value out of her. The entirety of the Justice stay out of view until they pounce and use Flora in the positions that are vacated by Mirror and that dive to really do the final damage.
You have this sound barrier image. You are going to have a Primal Rage in Pulse Bomb. You're in an opportunity here to set a tremendous time if you're the Justice, right? They're just pushing the Reign further and further back in their spawn. This has been a really bad look from Atlanta.
Yeah, this is looking like a really uncomfortable composition, maybe metagame right now for the Atlanta Reign on this map. They don't feel like they're set up for success. They haven't got any value out of their, the Winston and Ana combo, which was their bread and butter, prior to this patch. And Alfie, obviously, with that, oh my goodness, that was a quick headshot and melee kill there from Stalker.
Well, the primary fire from Torbjorn, right, with this new update shoots way faster. You can kind of see it there. Also, like the switch between the hammer and the gun is faster, so you're supposedly able to keep the turret alive a little bit better. But just the damage from the primary was already pretty good, but now that you can just kind of like spam chokes with it, makes it even stronger.
And up close, right, the secondary fire is still devastating. Pretty easy to quick pick up clean kills with that. Molten Core is available here for Stalker. Still looking to see how these teams make use of the Ana Winston setup. That Nano Winston, no, it's actually going to be Flora coming in here. Gets a Nano, attack visor, that's a scary combination. Stalker being kept alive here by the Nano himself. And look who gets in the way. It's Donghack offering himself up as a sacrifice to keep the rest of the Reign standing. But that may not be nearly enough as Miro wants to double down with the Primal Rage. rallies in play. Mirror gets blown to smithereens. There's a chance here for Atlanta to regain a foothold behind this shield of Vigilante, but Alfie's lurking at that high ground. Gets hit by the shield bash stun, but still well entrenched behind the setup of the Atlanta Reign here.
So you were never really in a situation, I think, there from Atlanta towards the end where you were really worried about giving it up. And now that you have the Lips Tac Visor, you're in a spot where you can maybe hold this out for the next 2 minutes.
It was a snowball. Definitely looked like it could have been over pretty quickly. The Atlanta Reign have to use a lot of their ultimates they banked up to stop the relentless advance of the Justice. Teru has another nano boost build up that is very quick here. Giving that to Mirror, causing some problems would be deadly.
Alfie? Blade? Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, gets it. Doesn't have to Blade right now. We'll pull it out. Oh my, that tactical visor shuts him down. Alfie, not aware of just how quickly his health bar could dwindle, but look, make sure of that.
It was also like pretty readable what was going to go on there, and there was a lot of space between Alfie and the rest of the Atlanta Reign, right? Like, it was not in the spot where he was going to get that dash and maybe take out like 2 players instantly. He had a lot of space to cover, so not able to keep him alive on through that as Alfie now will switch over the Torbjorn.
Stalker, yeah, showing us why the Torbjorn can be so frightening. That one looked like it was from longer ranges here as Alfie is forced to back on up. Look at that rate of fire. That is nice.
I mean, that plus the turret, right? I know you can overload, right? You can get, that extra, bit of health and damage. So the Justice now farming up another nano rather quickly here. So Teru, I imagine this one is for Mirror, although we have seen them give it to Flora with that vibe.
It's so fast. That is so fast.
Really quick.
Here we go, attack visor, Liv gets one himself, doesn't have attack visor though. How do you stand up against Flora in this situation? Flicks around, it's an easy finish off on Stalker, who went slow, but eventually Fielder's able to bring Flora down. There was enough healing apparently for the Atlanta Reign to withstand that nano visor. And the Reign are gonna push them back again.
With a team as good as Atlanta Reign, like when you kind of have them on the ropes, you got to take advantage of it. And I feel like the Justice, up until this point, they were really taking it to the Atlanta Reign. I mean, Flora was popping off on the 76, and right here, Atlanta has just held tremendously.
The Justice have switched to Sojourn. Flora opting for a different hit scan option, at least on the railgun aspect. Vigilante's going to be holding on here to this rally, straight into the fray should it be required. Wants to try and control these side angles a little bit more. Get went low there, but Vigilante is on the scene straight away. After he's lost his turret at the start of the fight, and he goes down. Stalker is dominating in that Torbjorn matchup, and this will be attack visor to end the round for the Washington Justice. Mirror has nowhere to go. His Atlanta plant their feet.
Yeah, that round ends in a little bit of a whimper, right? In the Justice going to play like a Torbjorn, you're going to play an Ashe, and on the other side, look at this. We got a Life Weaver on a
well, weave that, bro.
Bastion, so the Life Weaver pocket's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that Big Tree gives that over health now.
It's like Rally now.
It's really hard to kill with it. It's a big tree. It's full of life and
I mean, you get
vivacity.
Bastion around Big Tree, right?
It's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good. Obviously, and they've increased like his primary fire heal to 75 as opposed to 65, I think the threshold was. So generally could do a heck of a lot there with that output. So Lip, again unsuccessful.
If this doesn't work for Life Weaver, this update doesn't work. I mean, I don't know. They gotta maybe you give them like an LMG as a secondary fire. Just give them like 200 rounds.
So that shield, I believe, they also brought in an extra shield for Life Weaver to account for his large hitbox. But you still hit it.
And the heals on the dash, right? So you get like
that's right, yeah.
health loss plus like the shield regen and the healer regen. So they definitely made it harder to kill him, but he's already out of the game.
Yeah, no, he's for the time being struggling with the poke damage getting put down by Check's notes. Alpha here. That Torbjorn's been hard to deal with. Flora as well, and a very comfortable pick. The Ashe here. It's going to be quite powerful. So the Justice really turtling up with a very defensive setup. Of course, they have the Alari and that Baptiste here. Hard to break this.
And this is where I think you're going to get sick value out of both supports, right? And you can play a little bit more of an old school traditional bunker style. And look at where the healing pylon is. It looks like it's like up there on the scaffolding. No, right like in that park building, the parking garage.
Yeah. get rid of that. See it on Terry's screen, there's an indicator. Like, oh, okay, I like the outburst there to try and disrupt, but it's not enough. Vigilante just blew Flora up instantly. Terry all of a sudden found himself on his own. Mira very low. They could have brought the Arista down, but there wasn't enough concentration of fire. Even through Terror Surge, Mira could have died there, but instead he gets a freebie. Donghack, though, got rid of Donghun, and it's starting to break down to some chaotic engagements right now as the Justice realize they need to regroup here.
Yeah, at least they just need to get Mirror, you know, all healed up. You'll be able to come back in the fight. You're going to have Bob, you're going to have the Tor Bolt here, so you have some stuff to work with, potentially not give up checkpoint A.
Katsuna Rush thrown down here, the Justice being forced to fold away from him. The Primal Rage also makes it a bit complex to try and walk up and pick his spots as the defenders. Donghack wants to control this very small point of ingress.
I think you probably back out now, right? If you're Washington, I mean, you lost your tank. Mirror is not exactly the fastest to get back in. Okay, well, he actually jumps on.
I don't know about that one, man. I don't know about it. Bob, I think Bob got stuck inside that corridor. He came out first, man. They tried to send Bob to the point, but I guess you can body block him, right? Because he just sends you up, but then he stays there. So I'm pretty sure Donghack just tanked the hit from Bob, and the Molten Core was fine from Alpha Gear, but he was the only player who forced his way past Donghack and got blown up.
A part of me was like, oh, maybe they switch off of this, right? Like, oh, you're gonna kind of like throw some ultimates in. If you can hold it, great. If not, you'll just change. But it looks like you're gonna kind of continue on with this. Flip is gonna play Widowmaker here.
Okay, they are long sight lines, and there are no static shielding options for the Justice, and no dive potential. And there it is. Flora thinks he has control of that space, but Liv has other plans. And now what do? We've started to see Widow creep in a little bit more here. When you have these long sight lines against non-diving compositions, it's pretty robust.
Yeah, especially when they kind of want to like play in the open and just poke and do some damage at range, right? Widowmaker, the ultimate kind of range character, can just one shot from really, it feels like almost any distance is getting a good hit.
Oh,
it's like a pixel of his head.
Well, listen, given Torbjorn's stature, his head hitbox shows earlier as he tries to walk out of that corridor. So
that's what you would look like as an Overwatch hero.
You think so? I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. I do Moonlight as a short person, though. You know, we'll see what it's like.
An ultimate where you just scream really, long words and just deafen everybody.
If it has like the same effect as like our first, then I'm cool with that. That could be fun. I'm good at repelling people, you know.
Instead of the turret, you would just drop a big microphone. It would just amplify everything. So now we got a good old Widow matchup, right? Here towards the end of the map. It does feel like though. I mean, what? Lips can have Infrasight here. You're going to have the Kitsune Rush.
Well,
huge advantage coming around the corner.
Flora's also playing against the Winston, right? So
true.
I don't think you're opting into much more, a more comfortable arrangement than Lip is. There's a lot of threat there that, for Flora, and also with like Infrasight in play, this car is moving for free. It's moving for free. And here we go. Guess who dives on Flora? Donghack heads towards that left-hand side room here. He's just cutting the sidelines down. He doesn't have to kill the Widow. Just stand there, and that means that the Roost is ruled by Lip from there on out. Here's a Molten Core of the card. Captive Shard into the Terror Surge. That's a combo and a half.
Yeah, that is a filthy combo there. Does feel like both teams really here just kind of threw everything at that fight. So what I'm interested in here is, if you're Atlanta, do you consider switching away from the Widow and just going like full dive and just trying to exploit Flora now? I mean, you're diving also into the Torbjorn, which doesn't feel great. Same with the Ilaria and the Baptiste, but it's definitely a path. It's Zen,
so you double down in the poke direction instead.
Yeah.
We feel fine about that, right? I mean, with Sombra not a factor anymore, and flank is being weak on virtue of Torbjorn being so strong, Zed is very reasonable, right? We've seen a lot of teams try and play Zed in like these slower matchups anyway, where there's no real up close and personal threat. I mean, Discord Orb is massive here.
Yeah, just keep Harmony on the tank and then just focus on your Discord and just burn one of these targets down.
I think Flora wants the fight to start properly before he pops the Infrasight here, but it has started. Field has been felled. Flora's got a very safe position in this train cart, albeit rather telegraphed there, evidenced by the whizzing over Flora's head.
Yeah, and he has Infrasight for when the next fight kicks off, so you also do have the Tor Bolt here too, so you're in a good spot if you're the Justice. And now what? Minute left. Atlanta looks like they're going back to spawn. This may just be like wholesale changes.
They dive. Just a, you have to play. You have to be against with the Torb though.
Let's see.
Okay.
Oh well, the Flurry is the inference. Like, gonna know exactly what's coming at him now.
Well, he has to because he sees nothing happen for a while. I think he was probably holding it to counter Infrasight. But now he's seen this comp change. The Justice gets so much time to figure out whether they're going to play the Tracer. The Reaper, okay for Flora. Wow, what a switch up.
Yes, just a little bit more like frontline damage, but it's still, it feels like Reaper, right? You can get like hit with a Discord and take it out really fast sometimes on Reapers. That is a TP straight to the car.
Oh my goodness.
You can even get this off.
It's literal Snowpiercer. That is literally what happens in the movie. Yikes, alright, Fielder, TP on out here. This is scary. Has to drop an Immortality Field now. Mira's too close to see that widescreen TV. Just see the little red, blue, and green little...
Still, that is so scary. The Immortality Field saves a ton of players there. As you're going to have another fight here, I think, for the Justice. Terry should be able to get on and contest.
Here's a train. Oh, the javelin spin forced away. And Terror was denied the chance to prolong the round inside Transcendence. Oh, my golly.
Players did the javelin spin just knock back? It looked like the entire team. He just stood in the choke and just spun. And
well, that's the great thing about that ability, is that if you all stand together, you all get knocked back by it.